5 minutes.
Your awareness may be powerful enough to control your instincts. Your instinct will be to remove your hand from the box.
It's your girl Meesh, and welcome to another episode of the Luv MEESH Podcast. Hey loves, and welcome to another episode of Luv MEESH Podcast. We're going to continue with part 2 of the spiritual assignments. Has your internet been slow? My internet be coming in and out. It's a little frustrating. I'm trying to have the chimes in the background, but the iPad keep turning on and off. And I know that's them gearing up for 5G. With the VR and Meta Universe, they're going to want us to upgrade our internet speeds and stuff like that. But I won't be one of those customers because it could be as slow as it wanted to be. So if the music is coming in and out, that's what's going on the iPad over here. It's picking up internet here and there, I guess. And I took it off of, what do you call it when you mirror from your phone? Hotspot, because I need the internet at full capacity on the phone for this podcast. But Christmas just passed, right? And I don't have kids. If I had kids, I probably would be into the whole Christmas thing. But it's just me, I buy myself gifts all year long, so I get Christmas 365. But my family has been so separated. We actually came together and spent Christmas together. Or I can say I've been seeing more and more of my family. It actually started with the passing of my uncle. I hate to say that. But it just was so good seeing family. Everybody has grown up. My little cousins are in whole relationships. I can see little babies coming in the future. Them getting married and stuff. Not seeing cousins for a while and just catching up and seeing what everybody's been up to. I usually hang out with, I usually go to my friend's house for her Christmas, for her Thanksgiving with her family. And it didn't hit me until last year. I was like, I don't want to be with other people's family. I want to be with my family. And I don't have a family of my own, so that would have to be my family. So, everybody was doing their individual work, getting themselves together, mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that stuff. And I think we finally are on a path where we can, start to come back together. And so I'm excited for that. And that's where my focus has been, myself, my growth spiritually, learning what I should be eating, what I shouldn't be eating, what exercises I should be doing. Just learning more about my spiritual path, the healing powers that we have in our hands called Rinki, the different auras that we can see with our eyes. I'm all on that. So if our conversations aren't going to be about that, I'm kind of in my own little world. And it's kind of sad because conversations can only go so far till it's okay, we really don't have much in common anymore. So it's that awkward silence. But I'm a part of a lot of groups online, like Telegram and YouTube. And I just been, I guess you could say social media fellowshipping with them. And it's just a breath of fresh air. I learned something new. You taught me another spiritual term that I didn't know. Or you taught me a person, that I should go follow and listen to. And I don't know, it's becoming more mental for me. It's hard to keep up with my own damn mind, feeding it so much. I really feel like your mind eats too. And I just feel like it's been starving for a very long time. And keeping up with the appetite has been insane. It's the best way that I can explain it. So if you think I've been throwing a lot of things at y'all, okay, it's wanting more and more and more. So I have to constantly, y'all remember that movie, Feed Me Seymour? You had to keep killing people to feed the damn plant. I have to keep learning things to feed this mind of mine, because, honey, it just wants to know more and more. And not, I was on a business tip, that's all I wanted to learn. But no, it's spiritual, honey. It's like, okay, like the Bible say, why profit the whole world and lose your soul? Like, it's so spiritual for me. So I'm here. I'll always be here if anyone needs me. But I'm really learning more about myself and spending time with myself. And if that means reading a motherfucking book, that means I'm gonna sit and read a motherfucking book. And that might be boring to a lot of people, but it's so fun and interesting to me, and it makes me happy. So yeah, that's what 34 is looking like. So as we continue part 2, I was introduced to Allison Cole on YouTube, and the first time I heard one of her, I don't even know, y'all, when you look at YouTube, you finish a video, another will pop up, and then if you read the comments and start to scroll down, you see a lot more. So I don't really know how I clicked on hers, but I found her, and I'm so thankful. I cried when I heard, oh my gosh, the guy was saying how, he wanted to go home, and his alien family was visiting him. The reason they wasn't visiting him so much is they knew if he really knew that if he wasn't from here, he would want them to take him, and he wouldn't finish his mission. Like, it was like, I related so much with that past regression. Like, you couldn't tell me that was somebody else's past regression, because it felt like mine. Like, why am I so in tune emotionally? And like, why am I crying? Why am I like, yeah? Like, my soul is screaming, yes, everything she's saying. So I looked at her webpage and different things like that, and I've been listening, going back through all her videos and listening to them. And each video is just giving me more and more information about what's going on with this whole COVID thing, and the universe and the dualities that we're in, and how important it is to vibe high, and then there's so much more to this thing called life than they have us focused on. And like, all the pieces that I've already had, they're coming together. Like, I'm starting to see the fucking picture, like, are there any other pieces left? Because it looked like a whole picture to me. But I wanted to share that with someone. I don't get paid for these podcasts, so I'm able to share it. I am giving her credit. I do put a disclosure at the end of my podcast, to show that I'm sharing and, not trying to profit off of someone else. But I don't know if you would listen to this outside of this podcast. I don't know if you will go click on her link to hear it. So I'm going to go ahead and play it here. But I'm going to do a past regression myself. If I can't find someone locally, I'll definitely go to her. And I just know when I do my past life regression, oh my gosh, I'm going to see if somebody can record it for me, so that, because I'm pretty sure they hypnose you and you're kind of talking, which I do that already. If I'm halfway asleep, like, I remember my ex catching myself wake up and my ex talking to me, and I'm feeling my mouth moving, and I'm like, what is you recording me for? Like, real deal be talking to me, and I be half asleep. So I know I'm a candidate. I am a candidate that can do it. I just, I didn't even know this was like a thing. Like you can tap into your super consciousness, but you have to be like half asleep, half awake in one of those theta realms. So I know I can do it. I do be catching myself sometimes. Like, when I wake up, I be like, no. Like, bitch, what are you, what you got going on? What you about? It's so crazy. And every time I go to sleep, there's a mission, there's a dream, there's something. Like, and I'll be sucked out of that world and back to this one. It's so crazy. It's like living 2 different lives. Still hard to explain. But it's every time you go to sleep, it could be a different life. So it's like a million different worlds in your sleep and one world when you're awake. But I wanted you guys to hear Miss Allison Cole, because she talks a lot about, child trafficking, which they're in trial for that shit right now, whole Epstein Island. She talks about it's a galactic trade, COVID, and just different, like everything right about now. She gives an update on right about now. And, usually the powers that be trying to kill people, that be trying to warn people. So I'm surprised, Miss Allison Cole is still around. I hope the angels are protecting her and stuff like that, because they be shutting shit down. But the truth will always stand, If she won't tell it, somebody else will. And that's one thing about the truth, it always stands. Oh, by the way, have y'all seen Matrix? Oh my God. I want to do a podcast on Matrix, but I feel like too many people, now that I go on YouTube, I'm starting to see people are doing it, and it's like, you can really go listen to somebody else give their 2 pieces about the Matrix. But I got so many confirmations out of the Matrix. I don't even think movies are movies anymore at this point. I feel like I feel like Hollywood was created because there's classified documents that soldiers and sergeants and military and all the alphabet people cannot say because of these NDAs. So I feel like they created Hollywood so that they could expose that information while covering their asses. You know what I mean? So I let the writer read the classified information. The writer builds a story around it. We find actors that can fit those roles. We have a whole production team and we put the movie out. But it's not a movie for entertainment. It's really a fucking documentary. But we're going to call it fiction because, bitch, people don't want to die. I kind of feel like. So now I want to go and look back at a lot of movies because the fuck. They're trying to tell us. And, it's kind of like talking to a dead horse, I guess. So yeah, I want you guys to hear Miss Allison Coe. She's amazing. If you want to look into past life regressions, you can see if there's people in your area, or you can reach out to her. You can Google her name and her website should come up. But I've been seeing too many videos about this, like, you volunteer to come here, you're from another planet, you're home, and there's a lot of movies that are like that. Like what my sister told me, Jupiter's Ascendant. My sister always mentions Jupiter's Ascendant, how she was a whole princess from another galaxy, didn't even know. I remember looking at another movie where they actually got into this virtual reality world because they were just like so rich and peaceful and there was no drama. So they would actually get into a world with chaos and drama because they were fucking bored. And he was just like working every day, listening to his boss, doodling on his desk. And he goes to this then he accidentally pushed his boss out the window, and then he go to this coffee place next door, and this lady was like, "Did anybody see you?" And he's like, "Oh my God," he's freaking out. And she's like, "Do you remember who I am, do you?" And she's like pickpocketing somebody, and they end up being homeless, and she's like, pull us out. And he's thinking like, this lady is whack-a-doodie. But they literally were pulled out, and they were like in this rich world where he's like a scientist, she's like a scientist. They have all this money and everything's digital and electronic. And she was right, like, bitch, we was bored and we got in this fucking simulation, because we was fucking bored. And it's just so many movies like that. So it's like, whose truth is that? Okay, so you're bored, you made a simulation, you hopped your ass in a simulation. Do other people know they're in a simulation? And then it all comes back to this book I read called The Game is Life, where people put on a virtual reality headset and they were in a world, and let's say you were on a battlefield and you were killing the other teammates. Well, little did you know, the other teammates were people from another world who also had on VR, and they were killing you. So you're thinking that their computer PCUs, and they're thinking your computer CPUs. Well, really, y'all are two real individuals from different worlds killing each other. Then somehow they end up getting stuck in the game. So their body died, but their mind was in the game, but now they're stuck in the game. Then they end up meeting angels, some good and some bad, that are either supposed to help them do good things or save them from tragic things from happening, or to cause bad things to happen to try to get them out their path. It was looking a real like Earth to me, because we be faced with decisions like, bitch, what you gonna do? You gonna do the good thing? You gonna do the bad thing? And then sometimes little miracles be happening here and there, like, oh my God, thank you, God. then they met like this guy with red bottle tops, and he could go for different worlds. And when he would go to the main, one of them ended up dying, and he elevated to a red cap hand so he could be able to go to different worlds too. And at the big world, the man put 5 worlds in his hand, and he was like telling him to like put frequency around them. And if he didn't put enough frequency around the world would die, and all the people in the world would die too. But when he looked around, it was a field of people with their hand open as far as the eye could see, and they all had worlds in their hand. But it was somebody above the guy with the red cap hand. And I'm just like, what the like, this shit was just like, and just when you thought 5 worlds was enough, now you in this demigod world, but then there's another demigod world, and I'm waiting on him to write the last book, but I don't know what's going on. So again, I feel like these people be reading top classified stuff. They turn it into fantasy fiction to kind of, save themselves, their family, their kids, whatever. And we read it. You can read it one or two ways. You can read it as truth. Let me apply some of this stuff to my life. Or you can be like, oh, that was a great read, and go on about your life. But little do you know, it wasn't just a read. It was, reality. But yeah, I'm going to let y'all listen to Miss Cole, and then we're going to complete these 4 chakras, and then we could get ready for a new beginning. So we have to do the sacral, the throat, third eye, and crown. So catch you on the next episode. Lovaste, Namaste. Vibe high, babe.
Hello, my name is Allison Coe. I'm a hypnotherapist in Portland, Oregon. I work with clients all over the world, and I'm very lucky to do so. Some of these sessions, these hypnosis sessions, I like to share with the public. Some of you who have listened before have been confused about why I'm reading it through in both parts. I just find that that's the easiest way to share these. It trims it down quite a bit. And yes, I will be reading both parts of the hypnosis session that I've transcribed from one of my clients. Today's session is from a client who's a beautiful woman on her own life trajectory, and over the past 3 years, she noticed a huge change in her life. Everything started to shift. She broke up in a relationship. She moved to California away from her large extended family and from her adult children. She started a job where she develops projects for a construction company. And she basically lives her life the way she wants to live it, meaning she spends a lot of time being creative, being outdoors, learning about the things that she's fascinated by. And so her whole life has changed because of that. Now, let's begin with the session. When we open up the session in the life, wherever the higher self takes my client to, she finds that she's outdoors, kind of standing in or near a bush. She's male, and she has an upright body, but she feels like she's actually a cross between a frog and a grasshopper, and has antennae like a bug, but standing upright like a human. So, very strange body. She has 3 fingers on each hand, and her body is green. She's wearing form-fitting clothing, but on her chest is a white kind of geometric design that's part of her anatomy. She really has a feeling that she's stuck in this place, not physically, but kind of mentally. I then move her forward to where she lives. And here we begin. I'm on a hill. It's rocky, mountainous. I'm looking down into the valley. It's like a little city. All the structures are separate but connected. They're clear almost, like they're glass or plastic or translucent. What do you feel when you look at this place? I think I lived there. I don't feel anything really. Okay, let's get a closer look then. You can tell me what you see as you get closer. I can't see into the buildings, but there are doors, and I'm drawn to one of the larger structures. They're round, with what looks like big antenna in the middle, but architectural antenna. Okay, let's go inside this building, and you can tell me what you notice when you get in there. There's a few other beings in there. There's one that's kind of like me, and a couple that are very different. They're at long tables. It's a big, open, yurt type of structure. A long table. It's really spacious. They seem to be working on something, like a piece of equipment. The tables are wood. I don't really know what they're doing. Would you like to ask them? Yes. It's a piece of equipment that they use for a piece of transportation, like a motor or a pump propulsion. They use it to fly. They actually look like soldiers. Like human soldiers or something else? No, something else, more human than me. They have helmets that cover their whole head and face. Like their helmet is part of their head. They're more red and just hard looking. Is this an exoskeleton or no? Yes. Does the one that looked like you have the same geometric shape on their chest? Yes. Do you get the sense that this is where you live and sleep or something else? I don't feel like I belong here. I feel like the beings here that look like me live here. I don't feel like I do. I feel like I live in the woods. Let's talk to them then about that. Ask them if there's a particular reason why you spend so much time in the woods. Because I want to. And do you get a sense of why? I don't like being inside. It doesn't feel comfortable to me. Being outside doesn't feel comfortable to me either. I just don't feel comfortable. Do you get the sense that you have any responsibilities or duties to perform of any sort? I don't. I don't feel any sense of purpose. Do you get the sense that you're kind of an outsider a bit from this community? Oh yes, absolutely an outsider. Do you ever have call to interact with them? No, but they haven't pushed me away. They answered my questions. They weren't trying to chase me out of the building. We may want to ask them more questions. Let's ask them if they recognize you. They know who I am. Okay, let's ask them why you're different than they are. They don't really know. They don't understand me. And apparently neither do I. I'm curious if you ever used the technology that they use. I could if I want to. We all know how, but I don't use it though. Okay, and why is that? I think I crashed and hurt people. I feel guilty. I hurt people that I loved. I don't trust myself to use it anymore. That's why I exiled myself. Did the beings that you hurt survive, or did they perish? No, they're gone. I see. How did your community respond to that? They were concerned. They were sad. They were sad for me. They tried to help me. They are compassionate. They're loving. It seems it's me. So it's more of a self-punishment? Yes. What do you spend your time doing? Standing and living in the branches. Do you have the need to eat? No, I don't have any need to eat. I just exist. I look healthy. I don't think I'm not eating. I think I don't need to eat. At this point, we move forward to another important day in their life. I'm flying in a craft. It's small and round. It looks a lot like the buildings we were in, a little version of a building without the antenna, just round like a mint. What does that feel like? Fun. I love it. Free. It just goes. What's changed in your life? What allowed you to finally step back into using your craft again? I don't know. I feel different. I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel like I belong. I'm by myself in the craft, but I belong and I engage. I live there now. You live there amongst others? Yes. And what do you do with your time now? Fly. I fly. I take people places on missions they need to go. What are some of the missions that you take them on? Visits to other planets, to other places, to talk to other groups of beings. And does it take you a long time to travel to these other places? No, it's quick. And what do they do there? They are meetings, like political meetings. Different groups come together. I fly them to different places and to places where they all come together. I'm a pilot. I don't go into the meeting. When the person is finished, do you get to hear how the meeting went? I just know what happened. I don't have to be in there. So this interplanetary politics, what is the hottest topic that's being discussed at this time? Trade. We trade with each other. There's rules about that. They try to keep it fair so that everybody gets what they need. There's a very small number that tries to accumulate more for themselves and cares more for themselves. But most seem to want to equally trade and help. What are the types of things that are traded amongst the planets? There's something in the rocks. It's like fuel that we use and others need. We trade that. We don't have anywhere to grow anything, but we also don't eat. But we do help planets that have people that do eat. We help transport food for them. What is your favorite planet to visit? The planet where we all meet. It's small, like it's just for meeting. Neutral, I like that. The neutrality of that planet. Are there any planets that you never go to? No, we're able to visit them all. There's some I don't like to go to. Those people only have their own self-interests in mind. It feels that way on their planet. And what planet is that? Well, one is Earth. 2 are in the same solar system. The other is Mars. And what did these planets trade? People. They give away their people. And where do the people go? They go to different places. They're studied in experiments. We even have some. Can you tell me about the people that you have? I didn't know we had them. I don't know where they are. I just found out. I don't know what they're doing with them. Everybody wants them. Why is that? Their energy. They can manipulate their energy more easily than other beings. And what is it these other beings hope to learn from them? It's just fascinating. They're almost like toys. I see. And how long do these people last in these situations? Oh, some of them for a long time. They can keep them alive longer. They breed. They create more. And are they able to just go down and grab these people from Earth? They're part of the trade. They're stolen. They're just stolen. They're just taken away. Some of them want certain kinds of people. Some of them just want people. Some of them want them to look a certain way or to have a certain skill. Some of the planets don't care. They just want a variety. Is there any certain type that is in the highest demand? Children. And why is that? Children are in the highest demand because they're beautiful, easily manipulated, dependent, needy. And are these humans ever brought back to Earth? No, never. And what stops these other planets from just coming down to Earth and grabbing humans as they please? It's an agreement. They can't. They could, but they don't. And who are the traders on Earth that provide these humans? They're not human either. They collect them. Some are dark. They collect them for trade. Now, you say they're not human. What did the humans notice about them? Would they think they're human? Oh no, they're frightening. Are they hidden then? Yes, they never see them. And where are they hidden? Somewhere very dark. As in physically? Yes, physically dark. Somewhere underground. And then how are these humans transferred off of Earth? They're flown out. The vehicles can come down into where they are. It feels like a mountain. They just load them up and deliver them. And who are the people that gather these humans for these hidden non-humans? Those are humans. They lure them. I get the sense that these humans are alone, kind of like I was alone on that planet, but they're on the streets. They just take them. Nobody will miss them, but people do miss them. They just never know where they went. Are they taken from all over or mostly cities? Mostly cities, but not always. Africa. Children just don't come home from school sometimes. They walk and they just take them, little children. And who are the people that take them? Just awful people. They don't feel bad about it. They don't care. Okay. Is there a certain number of humans that they can take each year, or a limit on how many they can take? I don't know that, but it seems like a lot. There are a lot of people waiting to get picked up. They don't know that they're waiting to get picked up. Is there one central location where they wait? No, multiple. They're near water, near mountains, in a mountain near water, I think underground, very dark. And is anything done to reduce the fear of these humans as they wait? No, they like them scared. They're scared. They're scared. Is anybody on Earth aware that this is happening? Yes, many. And would you say these beings that are aware this is happening are trying to stop it, or are they trying to promote it? Some are trying to stop it. More are a part of it, or turning their heads, pretending it's not happening, even lying about it, saying that it's ridiculous that that could happen. It's their own people, their own children. How long has this been happening? A very, very long time. Was there ever a time when it was interrupted? It seems there were times when it slowed down. There was always a market for it. It's a very highly desired commodity. And what slowed it down during those times? They were afraid of getting caught. They almost got caught. It was coming to the surface. Who could catch them, and what could humans do about it to stop it? They could hope and pray and try to awaken those individuals who know about it. It would be somebody who knows about it. There have been others, but they've been killed. These ones may be killed too. Once more humans know about it, what can they then do to stop it? They can't stop it. Some are trying. Some that are connected to it and do know are telling. There is collaboration happening. A collaboration between whom? Those that know and those that are trying to stop it. Some are secretly playing both sides so that they can help stop it. Some are secretly playing both sides so that they can't stop it. Are there any off-worlders who are trying to stop it? Yes, but they're limited. Some of them are part of the group that is trying to stop it. At this point, we move on to the higher self. why did you pick that life for my client to see today? She's been wondering about this human trade off-world, and she hasn't believed it. Okay, now you also showed her this life where she was alone and segregated from society because she was ashamed and felt guilty for harming her loved ones through an accident. Why did she need to see that specifically? It was healing. It was just some time away. It wasn't actually punishment. And how does that particularly apply to her life right now? She's been through several periods in her life like that, where she hid away. Those were healing, awakening times. Those were necessary times. She was being molded for the next phase, and the next phase, and the next phase. In that life, she successfully went into the next phase, and she felt so much freer. She was a purpose. Yes. And then we got the information about the trade. Can you tell her what time frame that was that she was in? Was that happening simultaneously, or was that in the past or the future? It was relatively the same time frame, not far past, overlapping with now. It's happening now. So can we break that down to a couple of different questions? One being, is she currently in this life on Earth as a human and also living another life as a different dimensional being? No. So that means that she's currently living that she isn't currently living that life anymore. Is that correct? Yes, not that life. I see. But the trade itself is still going on? Yes. And there's still travel between planets. They're still meeting. They're meeting on all the planets. What else would you like her to know about the trade that's set up with Earth? It's not good or bad. It's part of the experience. All of those entities are experiencing their part for a reason, even the stolen children. Can you tell us more about that? It's going to come to light. Those participating are participating so that it can come to light. They are bringing it to light. By bringing it to light, does that mean that humans on Earth will know about it then? Yes. And when will that happen? When they decide that it will happen. And how will that affect humans? It's the other way around. Humans will affect humans. That will raise the frequency. The frequency raising will bring that to light. It cannot be brought to light before the frequency is raised. It's all intertwined. It's all dependent on each other. Those children came in to live that experience so that the frequency could raise. There are others who came in to raise the frequency so that the children could be saved. Some won't be saved. Some will be saved. They're all okay. Where are we at in that timeline with raising the frequency and saving these children? That's unknown. I know you can see everything from where you're at. What is the next thing that will unfold with regards to this? The events that are happening on the earth, all around the earth, are shaking the earth. It is shaking and awakening. The earth is helping the people more than the people are helping the earth. The earth is powerful. The sun is powerful. There are forces that are helping the light reach the earth to pierce the heart outside, the fear, to pierce the fear. The people who want things to stay the way they are turn up the fear. It turns down the frequency. Turn up the fear, turn down the frequency, turn down the fear. The frequency flies. People are addicted to the fear. They are addicted. And what is my client's role in all of this? To trust herself first, to allow the things that are happening to her to happen, to know that it's all meant to be, to follow the urges, the nudges, the messages. Is there anything stopping her from doing that already? Fear of being wrong, fear of not fitting in, fear of losing everything, fear of being locked up. And these fears that you listed, how can they be removed from her? Trust. Trust the process. Trust the journey. You don't have to be God. Just do your part. She wanted to know who or what was she before she dropped into the earth realm. Pure energy, pure light, brilliant pure light, pure joy, pure love, part of all, still part of all, but without question. Is there a way for her to fully access that same energy, that same purity, as she's also living a human life? Meditation. Meditation can take her there. Practice. She asked, has she had abilities in other incarnations that would serve her or the collective right now? She worked with energy. She reads energy. She manufactures energy. She manipulates energy. That energy impacts all energy. That is powerful. Practice that. And what is the best way for her to practice that? Meditation. Certain practices and yoga expand her energy, strengthen her energy, give stability to her energy so that she can create more energy. Align with what she wants to be aligned with, makes it clear. The questions will fall away. There will be a clear channel. Clear the channel. Practice clearing the channel. Visualize a clear channel. We will use that clear channel. And how should she use that going forward? She doesn't have to worry about that. Just clear the channel. Is there anything else that she should know about clearing the channel? Ask for help. It's there. It's all around. We can help anytime. We can help. Every moment we can help. Anyone who asks, we can help. Just ask. Now she wanted to know what you can tell her about the current drama playing out, and is there anything that she can do to impact the outcome? The outcome is dependent on the frequency. She can manage her frequency. She can control her frequency. She should not worry about this, but just do what she's doing. She doesn't need to think about her frequency. She can think about light. She can be loving. She can focus on what's real, what matters. She can look to the examples around her of beauty and love and abundance and focus on those. Focus on those. Focus on those. Focus on a world that makes sense. Focus on a world of love. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Everyone can win. Everyone can have what they want. So you gave her all of that information today about this human trade that's happening. But on the flip side, you don't want her to focus on that. That is correct. Because in focusing on that, it actually lowers the frequency and would work against that being revealed. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay, so that's why you want her to actually focus on all the good, all the love, all the things she wants, because that will in turn raise her frequency and she can become part of the solution. That is correct. There is no point in focusing on the dark. There is no power in focusing on the darkness. That is not helping the children. There's one thing to know. There's another thing to dwell on it. Do not dwell. Dwell only on the light. Dwell only on the love. Dwell only on the freedom of the children. Imagine the children are free. The children really are free. They really are free. They cannot take their freedom. No matter what you do, their freedom is inherent. Whether they are in a dark cave or in a home with a loving mother and father, they are free. No, they are free. They can't be anything other than free. They are only ever free. They are not their bodies. They are free. Some of them know that. Some of them are not suffering. Some of them are not in fear. Some of them know exactly what's going on. That's why they came, because they knew they would remember. Now, moving forward, we were told that raising the frequency would actually help reveal this situation, and then, in turn, help free the humans that are still here and stop it. What needs to happen? What is the catalyst for that huge frequency raising on the planet? Because it doesn't really feel like we're getting there. It is for her, for you, for everyone to raise their own frequency. It's the only thing you have control of, your own energy. Your own energy impacts more than you will ever know. If you were speaking to a large audience of humans that have a vast array of different frequency levels, what is the one thing that you can tell them to do to raise their frequency? Focus on someone you love. Focus on the joy of a child. Focus on the innocence of a brand new flower bud opening. Focus on baby animals. Focus on a baby. Focus on your favorite pet. Focus on a kitten. Focus on brand new leaves in spring. Focus on what you feel after a long winter and the spring breaks. Focus on your favorite music. Focus on dancing. Focus on what makes you feel good. Focus on light. Focus. 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 Is there anything else along this topic that you would like to tell us today? Specifically, if we do that, how much longer until this breaks the cycle of human trade? If everyone did that, it would end today. It would end today. No time. There is no such thing. Are there any other messages or information that you would like to impart to us today about that subject? Your heart is powerful. All of those things you use to focus are for the purpose of opening your heart. Your heart is key to the expansion of energy, to the raising of energy, to the raising of the frequency. There's lots of help coming from the outside. They're doing everything they can. You have to do everything you can. Your heart is the tool you were given to do that. She's felt very distant from her family lately due to the differences in opinions about the COVID vaccine. She'd like to know about that, and specifically, should she try harder this time with regards to sharing information, if it would in some way stop them from vaccinating the children. They will do what they will do. Her focus right now needs to be on raising her frequency. Raising her frequency will have an impact. Do you see there being hope for her reuniting with her family members in the future? Yes. And what will be the catalyst for that to happen? Her raising her frequency. She will not be triggered or feel judgmental when she's in a different space. It will not matter what they think, what they do, what they know, what they don't know. The information is falling on deaf ears. Stop the information. It is not helping. Thank you for explaining that. So it's all within her hands. Yes. She wanted to know, what is the actual purpose of the COVID-19 vaccine? To wake people up. They are going after the children. There is a lot of stuff going on with the children. The children came in for this. The children were ready for this. The children know. The children know they may be injured or die. The children know this is unnecessary. These are lessons for the adults. This is part of the shaking awake. Would you like to tell her what the trajectory is for this? Will we see mass die-offs of children? Yes. Will there be more in any specific locations versus others? The U.S. will suffer. The Western world will suffer. The whole world will suffer. It's okay. You all knew. You are here for this. Is there any way to prevent it? Yes, raise your frequency. Now, a lot of children have already gotten a vaccine. Is there anything that can be done to prevent them from being harmed? Likely no. Some of them will be fine. Some of them will not react. Some of them will never be the same. Some will die. And is this difference in reaction from the vaccine because of the vaccine itself or because of the child or some other factor? All of it plays a role. Some came in to be vaccine injured, part of the shaking. Where do you see Earth and the people of Earth, specifically over the next year, within 1 year from now? How will things be different on Earth? There are several scenarios. There is this scenario where everything changes. The systems are beginning to be replaced. People are building, but not until after some great hardship, what appears very dark. Don't lose faith. Systems tumbling is not an easy thing. Civilization was built upon the systems, and as long as you've known, you are dependent on the systems. Begin to lose your dependence on the systems so that the systems can be replaced. That is one scenario. The other is that the vibration stays as it is, and the systems become bigger, more dominant, more oppressive. You choose. How can we convince more people to raise their frequency? Because I feel like you're going to say that that is the way to get one of those scenarios over the other. It's not about convincing. It's not about talking. Energy affects energy. Great energy creates great energy. Low energy creates low energy. Think about how it is when you are around people who raise your energy. Think about how you feel after a day spent with them. Think about what it feels like to be around someone who drains your energy, who has to take your energy because theirs is so low. Think about that. Think about, do you want to be a creator of energy, a giver of energy, an energy lighter? Do you want to light the candle next to you? You can light the candle next to you. That's awakening. Lighting a candle, that is awakening. You don't have to tell them. Something will happen. The energy will create it. The energy will create that something that has to happen for them because you don't know what it is. You don't know what the trigger is for them to awaken. The energy will handle it. Your energy will influence that trigger. It's not up to you, but it is. She asked, what is going on physically with her? Sometimes at night, she thinks she's feeling an earthquake, and you mentioned the shaking. Things are changing. Sometimes there are earthquakes that she feels that don't get picked up. Sometimes her body is being changed. The body is dramatically being changed. Everyone's body is being changed. Hers just feels it. In some of those ways, the shaking, the electricity at night, it's intense. She chose that body. We told her that changes would have to be made if she selected that body. We told her that we would be helping to make those changes so that she could live within the higher frequency. She's just being prepared for a higher frequency. She's ready for a higher frequency. Her frequency is changing, so her body has to change. Everybody's body will do this. It might feel different. You might have different symptoms. Some people have headaches. Some people sleep more. Some people get more weight or less weight. Some people feel nauseous. Some people develop illnesses for a while. It's all okay. It's the body changing and shifting. She's getting ready for a higher frequency so that her body can support higher frequency, so that the energy can live within her body, so that her body can handle it. The energy does not just live outside the body. It lives within the body and all around the body. So as it raises, it also impacts the body. The body and the energy have to be symbiotically coexist. What is the source of this higher frequency that she's being entrained to and prepared for? It's coming because she requested it, because she's open to it, because the practices that she has been doing with the Kundalini Yoga specifically has allowed her energy to shift and move again. Moving energy is important. Move the energy. Allow the energy to practice moving. Get it moving. It wakes it up. It wakes the human up. Move the energy. Move the energy in ways that the body can use it. Would you like to tell her how her life will be different when her frequency is raised? What kind of things she'll notice? Ease, synchronicities. Things will just fall into place. The people that you've been looking for are also working on their frequencies. It will be a match. You are connected like magnets to other people who have similar frequencies. As your frequency raises, you'll find other people with higher frequencies. It'll be easier. It will feel better. You'll experience more joy because you're looking for more joy, because you are lighter. You'll laugh more. You'll have a lot more fun. She asks about living in California and the feeling of being very, very restricted. Would you like to tell her, is that where she should be living, or should she move on from there? She was brought to California at this time. Her energy was needed in California. She is exactly where she's supposed to be. She may require a move later, but she's supposed to be here for this. This is what she came here for. This is why she was moved away from her adult children. This is why the relationship ended. This is part of her mission. She's affecting the people around her. They are affecting her. She's supposed to be here. Would you like to tell her anything else about her life in California or her job and its involvement? She was specifically placed where she is in the very spot where she was. She knows that. She knows why. She has experienced the people who brought her to where she is today. It was all planned. They were waiting for her. She is important in their lives, and they're important in hers. Her work is perfect. She touches lots of lives every day. She is reaching out, touching people. They are touching her. There's a spark. Every connection, for every person, there's a spark. She wanted to know, would you be willing to do a body scan today to uncover anything that needs to be uncovered? There's dehydration. More water is needed. Always water, more water. There are minor things, a few little aches and pains, but water will actually help that. Water will help lubricate some of the achy joints. It's pretty simple. There's nothing wrong. She asks, what is the feeling of chemistry, the feeling of falling in love? Is it just a fairy tale? Chemistry is part of the drama. Chemistry is part of the ritual. Chemistry is part of being human. Chemistry is something we make up. We think we don't, but we do. It's all part of the fun. It's not good or bad. Sometimes we design it ahead of time so that we've recognized someone. But sometimes we design it because we need to have an interaction with someone, and that draws us close. Sometimes it plays out very, very well in the human drama. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it plays out so well, but it always plays out well in the long run. There are no mistakes. Just because a relationship ends does not mean it wasn't necessary, or that something didn't come out of it, or that love doesn't remain. Love always remains. They are always part of each other. You are always connected. You are always one. They are always teaching. You are always learning. Connection is key. She asks if she will have a higher vibrational love relationship in the future without any of the addiction problems present in some of the past relationships. The higher vibrational love comes with the higher vibration. Addiction has been part of many different pieces that she's worked with healing. Those things will fall away. When the vibration is higher, they will be unnecessary. She doesn't need to go digging into anything anymore. Just focus on raising the vibration. All else falls away. None of that could hang on when the vibration is high, and she will be a match to someone who also has a high vibration. And with that comes true partnership if she wants it. Can you tell her about her friend Roger? Is there anything that she can help him with? Roger is longing to go home. Roger is void of purpose. Roger has been her friend for many, many eons. Her friendship means a lot to him, and his to her. They are supportive of each other. They will help each other. He will find purpose, or he will leave. He is busy making that choice now. I see. And how can she help him? Her vibration. Being around him helps to raise his, helps him to feel better, helps him to think about things he doesn't always think about. He does the same for her. He brings up questions that she can't get to on her own. They are very supportive of each other in this life. She asked about her codependent tendencies, and she would like to have someone in her life that she doesn't feel that way about, that goes beyond that. How would she get rid of those codependent tendencies and heal them? Those are a lower vibration. Those were part of the destiny that she came in with. Those were part of the learning that she agreed to. Those were part of the healing that she's going through. The codependence was helping her to understand, to learn, to awaken to the fact that she does not need something outside of her, that she is not dependent on another human being for love. The more that she understands that the love radiates from within her, that she doesn't need someone else to feel that, she will no longer be codependent. Codependence is only there when there is no inner love. When you don't feel that the love is coming from inside, then it must come from outside. That you must be something other than who you are. That you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of love, even though you are loved. Know that you are love. Focus on that. Contemplate that. Meditate on that. Feel that. Know that you are love. Codependence cannot exist when you know that you are loved. What was happening the early morning of September 2nd? When she was going back to sleep and she saw bright flashes of light and whooshing sounds, like wind picking up water. She was being visited. Her galactic family comes from time to time. She called them. They didn't just show up. Do they have a message for her today? We are here. You can call us anytime. We will come. We were there. So you knew that we would come. That you aren't alone. We are here, just ask. We are here. How can she tell when it's them in the future? We usually arrive with some lights. We haven't visited her very often except that night and in her sleep, so she hasn't had very many visits when she's been awake that she remembers. So there really isn't, other than that visit, anything that she would have to go on. We can make light and sound. We can appear any way she would like us to. All she has to do is ask. She has so many interests. What would be the most beneficial topic of study for her to learn about, and why? Understanding chemistry would be great. She's never been particularly drawn to chemistry, but the study of medicine and herbs will be important. Understanding chemistry is a piece of that to produce medicines from the wild, from plants, things you can forage from food. Chemistry is very helpful. Understanding chemistry and biology would be helpful. It will also help in understanding soil farming, which she has also been interested in. And how will this benefit her to move in that direction? They will benefit many people. Having an understanding of how to take care of the human body to keep it healthy or to help when it's not healthy will be very beneficial. The medical system is going to be changing. The medical system is changing. More and more people are looking for ways to be healthy. The current medical system doesn't support health. She knows this. How can she fully balance her values with her work? and increase her manifestation of projects that match her ideals. I'm sounding like a broken record, but raising her vibration will actually help bring people to her that are more in alignment with her own ethical values. Thank you. Do you have any final messages for my client today? We can come to you at any time. Just ask. We are here for you. It does help if you are in silence. It does help if you give us space to enter. If you clear the channel, we will answer your questions. We have answers anytime you want them. We are here for you. We are here for anyone who asks. And that is the end of today's session. Thank you.
Thanks a million for listening. There's a million podcasts in the world. You clicked on this one, this one, to hear what I have to say. I hope universe has a special message for you. You can reach me on Linktree at /love.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?